This is the Lady Gaga expose, my girl. But first, a word. I just want to eat junk all day. I just want to eat junk all day. Is that a crime? I just want to eat Doritos, donuts, pizza, and relax because I am always on. I need to be off and I need to be a bum for the day. Okay? It's so hard for me to do because I'm such a workaholic. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program. Hello, welcome back to It's That Girl or It's Not That Girl, the show where I review popular artists and popular music from today, yesterday, and beyond. Today, we are talking about on this expose of my girl, Miss Gaga. So let's go ahead and get on into it. This is It's That Girl or It's Not That Girl. Take it away.
Peyton, the business biz. Why don't you tell them how much of a warrior we are?
Welcome back to It's That Girl or It's Not That Girl. I'm Peyton 3.0, the artist, the musician, the entertainer, not the content creator, not the YouTuber, and not the influencer. As I say in all my videos, those are great platforms and tools to build the reputation, the business, the brand, the name, but most importantly, the community. And hopefully you'll join the community today by pressing the like button, sharing this content with other people who like music commentary. Okay? Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button to become a part of this community and subscribe, notification bell for more videos. Now, as I say to everybody, when it comes to these exposés, these are not real exposés. The way exposés are done, these are just my opinions and my observation of the artist. Okay, so I have been nothing but a consummate, massive fan of Lady Gaga since the very beginning of her being pushed by the industry back in 2008. Actually, I was watching digital cable, I had a digital box and where it was on demand. Basically, you could select. So I would go to the on demand on Comcast and just search music videos, and I happened to see somebody I had never heard before in my life. Lady Gaga said Just Dance, and I was like, what's this? So I clicked, and from the first scene I was like, oh. And the video played and the song came in, and I knew there was something about this girl that related like to the weirdness that was me, and I was sold right there. I was sold. Okay, and I couldn't wait to see more of what she had to offer. So she dropped a couple more singles. And I am all the way in, right? That first album comes out. I think actually I had went to New York on the Amtrak because originally I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay, I had got on Amtrak. It's like Pittsburgh and New York is relatively close. It's like $30 each way. And I was going there with the big dreams delusion of like going to get a record deal, somehow going to New York, in Manhattan, in Times Square somewhere, and running around to get to see if I could find a record company to hear me sing and get a record deal. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Newsflash, most labels, at least not in New York anyway, don't have their names just sitting outside of the building. At least not in New York. So I didn't know where to find them. I thought it was going to be that obvious, but it wasn't. And at the time, the big Virgin store was down there in Times Square. So I had went into that store, and guess whose album was right there? It was brand new. It had just came out, the Lady Gaga album. So right there in Times Square. And of course, many of us should know that Lady Gaga is from New York herself. I went and I bought the album right there. And basically in Times Square. So bought the album, went out, because albums at that time were just on their last leg before the digital age completely took over, right? And I just loved all the songs on that album. And this girl was something special to me. And honestly, you won't believe it, but I'm a year older than Gaga, actually. Yes. Both millennials, a year older than she is. And I used to also, because our birthdays are also close too. I was born March 26th. She was born March 28th. So we're both Aries, and we're both so much alike in so many ways. So there was no artist to connect to quite like this one for me. And so I really held her on a higher pedestal than I held most artists, you know? And so she came with another release, The Fame Monster, and I was just all over it with the electronic sounds, and I was really getting to my EDM bag, you know, because my friends from the restaurant that's like Denny's called Eaton Park were ravers, and I was getting into the underground rave scene. And the years would go on, and she would release The Born This Way. I mean, I was eating everything up. I loved all the weirdness. I loved all the fashion. I loved the outness out there of it, the camp. I just thought that she was a brilliant artist, and she would perform her songs stripped down. And she had so many talents. She could play that piano. She do so many dramas. She had and has a fabulous singing voice. And so she was just so multi-talented to where it wasn't obvious in the beginning. And I just knew that this was an artist of not just a generation. This is an artist of all time, truly. Her vehicle she chose was basically just the pop electronic lane for the most part, you know, but she broke out and showed you what else she could do. The biggest crime to me from not her is that when she dropped the massively brilliant album artistically, art pop, the people who were supposed to be the fans, they didn't stick by her with this one. And it's like, what's going on? Like, is it too much for y'all? Is it too avant-garde to the left? EDM underground. I mean, I thought the gays would be on board, right? But I was blown. I was blown. Let's say that. And so I'm just sitting here like, this is the best thing you've ever done, Gaga. On the flip side, everybody else was absolutely losing their minds, because to sleep on an album like Art Pop, I don't know what country I'm in. Right? I don't know what country I'm in. It did well relatively overseas, as it should, but in America, it was just like the people had abandoned her. That was supposed to be her little monsters. And did she turn to other genres that she knew how to do? Because remember, before she became Lady Gaga, she was doing underground dive bar scenes. She was putting her work in, even though she comes from a rich family, right? She comes from her parents working the way up and becoming rich, you know. She was down in those dive bars because herself, she didn't have the money. She wanted to really get it out the mud, you know. And so she played those dive bars in New York, and she was doing the piano because she'd been learning piano since she was a little girl, right? And so with that being said, lost my train of thought. Anyway, with that being said, she started becoming on these earlier stage shows with somebody called Lady Starlight. She was doing rock at the time, right? And this is before all of us got to really know who Lady Gaga was, before the brand switch of EDM pop music came into fruition, before she was signed to the record label. Okay, that is who was it with? Was she signed to Capitol Records? Was it Capitol Records? Jimmy Iovine? Who was she signed to? Hold on. At the time, I need to Wikipedia. Because I know that Cherry Tree, which was her thing, didn't come to just a little bit later. We're talking about the very beginning of this brand. So give me a moment. Okay. Give me Wikipedia real quick. I want to see the first album. I want to see what record company had signed her. Is it who I thought it was? Okay. Well, I mean, it's saying a couple things here. No. Okay. Yeah. Interscope. That's what it is. Interscope. That's who signed her. Jimmy Iovine. Okay. Anyway. I know too. I used to be the guy that knew back in the day, like the record company, the artist, this and this information. Like I was the guy to come to for that, you know? And look where I am today. Doing this. Anyway. Things, I never left Gaga's side. When you have somebody this amazing and you're an artist yourself, you don't leave an artist like this to the wolves like the other people try to leave her. No, you just keep supporting. And so I supported with Joanne. I supported with the jazz album, right? Eventually she was at this point, she had laid down the electronic music and went to other genres that she was brilliant in as well. She came back with Chromatica, and I was in love with the first single. What it reminded me of was the song on Art Pop, Do What You Want, featuring R. Kelly. And because of some of these similar production in it, and the fact that that did not get to be released as a single because of the controversy with R. Kelly. But with that being said, GAGA released her second single, and I was mesmerized by the video. But when it came to the song and the production itself, this is where I was upset with GAGA. This is where I was upset with GAGA because it felt like a betrayal to the brilliance I knew. It felt like a step back, and she had picked back up the brand that we knew as GAGA. Again, after laying it down and wanting to do these other, genres and stuff like that. That was a complete flip and a huge risk, of course, when it came to Joanne and then the jazz album with Tony Bennett and things like that. So from art pop, where the production and the experimentation and the brilliance of it was up here, you come with the production. What was that? 6 years later, you come with a production, with the exception of Stupid Love. You bring the bar down here, right? And I was like, the GAGA we know and love is there. The singing is great. The melodies are great. Her emotions are great. The writing is great. And what she's talking about, I'm there. I'm with it. I'm in. But when it comes to the music production, I was like, see, compared to art pop, this is down here. And that's why I was disappointed, because to me, it was more like run-of-the-mill 90s techno type beats that basically were in the shadow of art pop. And I was just like, and that upset me. And that's why I didn't listen to the album like that for a long time. I kept going back to the other albums. I kept going back to the art pop. In the Fame and Born This Way, and it took me literally 2 to 3 years to finally put on Chromatica. I'm not sure what made me want to put it on, because I was just like, it's been a minute, it's been a while. She hasn't released anything, and I do want to support, and I do love what she's talking about in this album. I'm just gonna put it on and get into everything else, right? Then she drops, she drops out of nowhere as I'm on my way to a job fair last year. She dropped, what is it called? I'm sorry. She drops Disease. Because at first, when Spotify recommended to me, all I saw was a car. And I know the name's usually above the picture when there's a new recommendation. But at first I didn't click on it because I was like, what is this? didn't really look at the name above it. And then it showed it to me again, and I look at it, and it says Lady Gaga. I'm like, oh, let me see what she's got, you know? So I clicked on that. And when I heard the song, I lost my mind. I was like, this is what I am talking about. This is the true continuation of the Gaga that we know and what she can bring to the table to elevate. Basically, this is the right successor to art pop, production wise, music wise, not Chromatica, because Chromatica was a step back production wise, right? Music wise. But this album, Mayhem, because she just dropped Abracadabra, and lost my mind on that too. Mayhem is a step forward in the elevation and evolution of Gaga. You are getting a taste of what we know her for, but now it's elevated. Now it's on a new level. And that's where it should be for a brilliant artist and a woman like Stephanie Germanotta, aka Lady Gaga. And we know that she took an emotional tumble after people in this country did not take to art pop, when she had put everything into it, because she's a true artist. She's sensitive about her okay? And so it just felt like Gaga was just kind of rebelling and doing what she wanted to do. She came out with Perfect Illusion, you know, which basically was a slap back in the face of the fans that had abandoned her. And that's what the song was about. Like, your love was an illusion. It was never really real. You know, you abandoned me when I was what in her opinion was her best work at the time. And I agree that it was her best work at the time. Okay? Because Lady Gaga was doing this one again. She was doing this. But then it started to go. And now it's doing this again because Gaga has went through the rain of it. She's went through the emotions of it. She's tussled and tumbled through it. And now you could tell that she's back in a good place emotionally, spiritually, with the kind of work that she is putting out now. And it shows. Okay? So I am very excited for this new album that's coming out next month, which is my birthday, which is me and Gaga's birthday month. Okay, I'm very excited for the album coming out. I just can't wait to hear what is going to be on it. Because from the two songs that we got, this is truly going to be art pop number 2, right? Everybody started to years later say art pop is everything and blah blah and bring it back or create art pop number 2 and blah blah. But where were y'all when art pop rocked? Where were y'all when the era was fresh and ready for the fight? See, that was the question. What did you put her through by not receiving it like you should have? That's the question. Okay? So with that being said, we all need to get ready for Gaga's incredible best release of her career. Oh yes, I said it. This is going to be the best release of her career. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. She truly this time embodying everything that is GAGA, honey. Okay, so get ready for mayhem, because I know I am. That's going to be the best birthday present in a long time. Oh yes, oh yes. Well, I'm Peyton 3.0, the artist, the musician, the entertainer, not the content creator, not the influencer, not the YouTuber, also known as Workalina. Get into multiple hustles, multiple bags, W2, W1, W9, 1099 miscellaneous, W5, okay? Anyway, if you like what you heard and seen today, please hit the like button. Oh yes, oh yes. Hit the like button. And of course, share with people you know that like artist commentary. Hit that subscribe, baby. And of course, notification bell. Well, I'll see you on the next episode of It's That Girl or It's Not That Girl. Bye-bye.
Peyton, the business biz. Why don't you tell them how much of a warrior we are?